So this is how you replace the whole liner on a sailboat or any boat. What we've done here is we've ripped out the old carpet and it had a foam backing on it. So we took that all out and then we got a wire brush or wire wheel for a power drill, and then we cleaned it up so that there's no loose foam. There's still a little bit of the adhesive there, but it's just not coming off. And if we wanted to take it off, it would take hours. So we've left that on. We figured it's good enough for what we're doing. And so what we're using here is we have indoor-outdoor carpet adhesive, and this is actually some indoor-outdoor carpet from Lowe's. I'll put the link to it down in the description. It's same with the adhesive. And so we are measuring it. So we measure from side to side, and then we measure how much we want on the tabs, and then we add that to the side. Of course, the top and the bottom is different because this is slanted on the top, flat on the bottom, kind of. So each side is a different length here and here, so you kind of get a rectangle with one slanted side. And that's what you're looking at. And then I also have a 6-inch shelf here, top and bottom, that I count for. And I'll show you how we mark it out and cut it and then fit it in. 80, 79, that should be fine now. So I'm thinking about the grain of the carpet. When we cut this piece of carpet, we cut it with an edge that was smaller on the front and bigger on the top. So when we cut the next one, realistically it's going to be shorter on the bottom and longer on here, and then we'd create a full square. And then that would leave us, the next one we cut out would then be for this side. Because then we would have matching grain going straight down.
Okay.
So that's my plan.
Good plan.
So let's go cut this carpet.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So as you can see here, we have a little drawing for the starboard top. I've measured them out and they're the same for both sides. And so what we're doing is we do one side short because we have a short side and a long side, and in order to keep the grain the same, what we do is we flip it. So we do the first one with the short side here and the second one with the long side there, and that way when they go onto the sides, you have the same grain running down. So what we've done is we've already done long side, short side, so now we're doing long side there and we're doing short side here. And then we just use a flat edge or a straight edge to mark a line all the way across. And then typically what I'll do is, you can see here, I'm cutting it with about 3 inches extra all the way around the sides. And then I'll show you what I do in a minute, but we put it up and then I cut it to size actually on there. That way I ensure that we have a perfect fit. So as you can see now, we have the lines out. What we're using is a gold Sharpie on here because it comes up on the black. And like I said, this is just some regular indoor-outdoor carpet. It's fairly soft, but not too soft, not too worried about it. And the most important thing is that every single time you cut one of these and you cut it to size in the boat, you flip or replace your blade on your Stanley knife, and that's going to make cutting through it a lot easier. Which now that I'm trying to show, it's not working. But basically what I do is I cut it about 3 inches, 4 inches over the measurement, and then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. And that'll give me the space for when I'm actually in the boat to make adjustments as I see fit. So it doesn't have to be exact and you're not fighting your own measurements or how exact you were on the initial measurements, to make sure you have a good fit. So now we're going to bring it in and put it up on the wall and show you how we cut it to shape. So what we've done is we've pushed the carpet all the way up to the top, and then basically what I'm doing is I'm just ensuring that I have enough to cover the tabs here, and I have enough to sink down into these shelves. This carpet goes all the way to the ceiling, butts up with the headliner and then comes down and wraps around the inside of this. And it does the same thing on the bottom. So both sides have that problem where we're gonna have to wrap it around and glue it to the bottom or the top of this. So this stage, you're just making sure that it's fitting, making sure that you have the right orientation. You have your small side on that side, your long side on this side. And once you have that, you'll roll it back up. And what I'll do is I'll roll the front to back. So when I unroll it, I know that the end of the roll is going to the back, and then the inside of the roll is coming here. So we'll put the glue on right now, and then we'll show you the glue, and then we'll roll it on, and I'll try and show you the process of cutting it and positioning it. So mainly what I'm worried about here is I want to get it all the way to the top here because I want to make sure these edges don't come off. I'm making sure to focus on these tabs, both the inside and the outside, also right in the corner here, because what we're going to do is we're going to press it into the corner, and that's just going to make sure that it holds its shape over time so that it doesn't pop out. As you can see, I'm just using a regular, I think this is a tape knife, what they use for drywall. But you can use a regular putty knife too. Regular putty knife is nice, so that it gets into all the nooks and crevices. The big thing here is making sure you're using gloves, so when you go to handle the carpet afterwards, you don't have glue on your hands. And then make sure you have a wet rag nearby, because if you do get it on any paintwork or anything like that, or woodwork, you can just wipe off your woodwork like that, and it comes straight off.
With water.
With water. So when you're coming up to your edges here, don't worry too much about going past it. Try and stay to your line. But if you do go past it, it's not the end of the world. You can just, after you're done cutting it all up, go ahead and finish wiping it off. And that's what we've done on the other ones. So when you're lining up the carpet here, you probably want another person, but you're gonna come to the edge and you're gonna make sure that you have the same amount on each edge. Keep the carpet off of the glue, and then the first thing you want to do is put it up behind the headliner. Make sure it's up there, and then you can start pushing the back down and squeezing it into the corner. But yeah, make sure that you start with the same amount on both edges, and that way it'll fit right. So now that we got it up, we're pressing down on the sides. And then these corners, we bring them out like that, and that way we can cut straight along here and get this edge to sit right. And the next step is to push it into this front corner here. And then we're gonna fold this down and in, and I'll come back with a blade and I'll cut right into that groove there. And that'll give me the perfect fit along here. Oopsie.
What happened?
I cut a little short again.
Sorry.
So what I do on this edge here is first I push in and I make sure it's into this corner here. And then I have this Stanley knife, and it has a nice little curved edge here. So what I do is I go along and I just push it into the corner, and you can see the carpet kind of go down. And then once I've done that back and forth, I'll take the blade out and I'll push it into that corner there. And the carpet will stay down. It'll push it into the corner as it's going, and that'll give you a nice clean cut along that edge. Relatively clean.
Is that your disclaimer?
That's my disclaimer. Be kind of careful when you do it, but as long as you make sure that it's into this edge right here, and then you push this down, the blade should pretty much follow that corner. And what I do is I start at the front, and I start in here, I cut it all the way to the edge, and then I'll do my side right here, and then I'll come and I'll do the back. So that's what I'm about to do right now. For the final result, it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely better than what it was. I'll show the final video clip of this all done.